So there were some other nuclear events that took place in the 50s.
Yes. Yeah.
Christopher Nolan, one of my favorite directors, finally won his first Best Picture Oscar for this movie. And for those that haven't guessed as yet, we're talking about Oppenheimer. So as a physicist working at CERN, what were your personal thoughts about it? And what were sort of the community collegial thoughts about the movie?
I really, really liked Oppenheimer. I think I think you're a little bit of a comic book nerd or fan. I call it amongst my friends. I call it like the Avengers of physicists.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's so awesome because the movie has all the characters in it are real historical people that I've been reading about. I've been reading their theories, working with their actual formulas, all of these things. So these are people that I've been hearing about for the past couple of years. And then to like see them on the big screen now, and then also see the personalities that I heard that they were, and I just thought it was really awesome. I really, really love that movie. Yeah.
You know what just hit me? They actually went and got an Avenger to put in the movie.
Which one?
Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But he was playing a physicist, right? Just not a good one.
No, he was like a congressman or something.
Oh, a congressman. Okay, yeah.
Something like some government man.
Yeah, some government man. Those government men. So they didn't want to make him an actual physicist Avenger. He just got to be on the sidelines in this.
Too much overlap between the worlds.
True. That might have caused what was the hydro collision? Cause a black hole in the space-time continuum.
Really mess up the universe.
So what was like the collegial discussion? So the discussion amongst your colleagues?
Before it came out, we were all like, we were waiting for it. We were like, oh, how's it going to be? Because obviously we were all going to watch it. And then it was in the summer, so this was perfect. We all had like tiny breaks. We all split, and then we reconvened at some point, and we were like, okay, did you watch it already, or are we going to watch it together, or like what's going to happen? And obviously it was mandatory almost for us to watch it because it feels like it's about us.
Yeah.
Because these are physicists. I mean, they're our predecessors. So essentially the Manhattan Project, the project to build the atomic bomb, is actually the first big collaboration between giant physicists
from all around the world.
Well, in this case, it was mostly centered around the U.S. because of the war and stuff. You couldn't really do international things so well. But at least, all these famous physicists coming together to do a physics project. This was the first time that it happened at this scale.
But Oppenheimer, what is his background? Because he
was a theoretical physicist.
Yeah, I mean background as in nationality or
American.
An American, 100%?
Well, maybe. I mean, probably down the line somewhere, his ancestors. Okay. But I think he was just born, I think, in the U.S.
Because weren't there any physicists with like European backgrounds also on the Manhattan Project?
Yeah, so these are people who had emigrated or actually had fled Europe. I think there were a couple of Italian people like Enrico Fermi, for example, who is in our field. He's extremely famous. There's even a whole lab named after him. So he's Italian, for example, and he was also part of the Manhattan Project. Yeah, so I guess it was international, but not in the same sense that governments are working together, but it's...
Yeah, because it was different times. Governments were fighting against each other at the time. Let's hope we don't enter that type of zone again.
Exactly, yeah. But that's what... But so CERN is kind of the successor of this.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the Manhattan Project was to build weapons.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we've moved away from that now, and now we're building... I mean, CERN has nothing to do with weapons.
Yeah.
But it's the same sort of idea of this international collaboration of all these,
great minds coming together.
Yeah, exactly. So we really, at least when I was watching the movie, I could really recognize a lot as well. So I recognized what happens if you put a bunch of physicists together in the same room and the types of discussions that you would get. And you'd see.
So these are similar discussions that you're having today?
Yeah, for sure.
Almost 100 years later.
Yeah, for sure. And also the ego clashes that happen sometimes. All of that, I think, is very, very true to nature.
So were there any specific characters in the movie that you feel you relate to a bit more?
I think, well, it might sound a bit weird, but actually some parts of Oppenheimer himself I could relate to. Because in the movie, something that he focused on at some point, that he said he wanted to bring physics to a place that he loves. Like he wanted to build a lab in this case, it was New Mexico, because he really likes the environment there. And when he said that, that actually really resonated with me, because I would love to bring physics to the place that I love as well, which is Bonaire. So I would love to make like some kind of physics project on Bonaire. I mean, obviously nothing to do with weapons, especially no testing of weapons. But yeah, peaceful purposes. But yeah, bringing physics or making a giant physics lab on Bonaire or something, I think that would be really amazing.